Hi, Nicole here with Roots to Rise, and I'm going to walk you through a quick 10-minute demonstration on how you can get rid of that low back pain. All right, so one of the biggest contributors to low back pain is an anterior pelvic tilt. So what that looks like is this. This is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's that big arc in through our low back because our hips are so tight, it's pulling the pelvis forward, okay? So our pelvis is basically a box of bones sitting on top a ball and socket joint, which is our leg, our femur bone right there. When our hips are tight from sitting all the time, which we do when we watch TV, we drive, we work at our desk, so we're in this position all the time, locking those hips in a shortened position. So when our hips are locked in a shortened position and they're tight, they're gonna pull those hips forward, creating an arc in the back. If we don't want the arc in the back, we're gonna have to lean forward here, making sure we have a nice straight back. But that's not realistic. Nobody walks around like that. So instead, we come up to standing here and we have that big arc. Okay, so to get rid of that, we wanna open through the hips, but we also wanna add some flexion in through that spine to take the stress off of the low back. All right, so are you ready for this stretch? This is the first of 4 levels into lumbar flexion. So this was developed by Joe Hippensteel from the Ultimate Human Performance. So you're going to find a space on the floor. You want to sit crisscross applesauce. You want your feet about 6-8 inches away from your body. You don't want them in super tight where your shins are driving in towards your hips. You want them to sit crisscross here. Now, some of you may have your knees up quite high. You may have one knee up, one knee low. It all depends on how tight your hips are, where you're experiencing pain, sciatica, low back tension. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to lean forward. So we're all gonna do this, and I will switch to the side after I get into it. So we're going to lean forward for 2 minutes, trying to create as much arc and flexion through the spine as possible. So timer has started. So the standard for this, you know you've reached our goal when your head touches the floor. So, just like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna come up out of it and I will move to my side right here so you can see what the arc in the back looks like, okay? So, if you are not at this standard, you want to just go to where is comfortable for you. So in these stretches, we always say you want to go to a pain or discomfort level of 7 out of 10. Many times, if this is your first time stretching and you're sitting all the way up here and you're trying to lean forward and it's pretty intense, I'll usually recommend my clients find that 5 out of 10 in pain. Find that spot where you're comfortable in the stretch, because a lot of times we go to a 7 out of 10 in pain and we're actually going to a 9 or a 10 out of 10 in pain. So if you're new to stretching, ease off just a little bit so you know how the body feels. So we're just past 1 minute now. So you want to come into that nice deep stretch. While you're in that stretch, you want to make sure you're breathing nice and deep, okay? So breathing in through the nose, filling your lungs and your ribs, and out through the mouth. And as you're in this stretch, you're gonna feel your body hopefully start to sink into it and relax out, okay? Wherever you're feeling pain, tension, that kind of locked feeling, that's going to be your first area of opportunity to open up and unwind, okay? So I'll talk more about that in just a minute. We have 14 more seconds here. So you wanna relax your head into it. You should feel it in through the low back, maybe the hips, up through the spine. And I want you to roll out of it really slowly right now. So when we come out of our stretches, you might be creak, 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 ah. That's good. That means we're making progress. Uncurl your legs, and I want you to lay straight down on your back. While you're here, don't wiggle your toes, your legs, your head. Try not to adjust too much. This is called our dead zone. So while we're in this zone and in this position, we're allowing our body to recover and to rest and to relax, okay? A lot of times when we're in pain, our bodies rev pretty high because we constantly find ourselves in those fight or flight positions. Right now, we want to take the time for the body to relax and absorb all the nutrients of the stretch that are happening. So, got about 20 seconds left in our dead zone, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do this stretch 2 more times, okay? So the first time is a lot of the time it's the warm up into the rest of the reps we're gonna do, okay? So if you need more time here, please take more time. If you're ready to come back and stretch, let's do it. Otherwise, give me a pause, okay? So we're gonna sit crisscross again, exactly the same thing we did last time. You can switch which leg is in front if you wish, but we're gonna dive into it. Now, if you're feeling like, if you're up here and you're at a 2 or a 3, but you just can't go any further, you can grab a bedpost. If you have a partner handy, they can gently press down on your back. Really important to also relax the head into the stretch. As you can see here, if you can peek up at me, we're getting a nice stretch from the base of our head all the way down to our tailbone. We're getting that nice flexion in through the low back, in through the mid back. So this is a really great warm up for the spine to be able to get into that curled position, that flexed position, okay? So what we're doing right now is we are opening up the sarcomeres within our body. So sarcomeres they kind of look like forks that are coming in on each other, okay? What we want is we want them to move in and out, similar to how a bicep curl would work. When we have tension and pain, spasms, tightness, anything like that, we want to be able to open up and create space in through those sarcomeres, because right now, if we have pain, they're locked in that position. They can't move freely forward and back, okay? So as we come out of this position, which we will in about 30 seconds, when you feel that creaky, the same kind of feeling you feel when you get out of a car or off a plane, when you've been sitting for a long time, your office chair, when you're, when you're coming out of it, that's your body telling you you've opened up those sarcomeres. And when you're in the dead zone, you may feel kind of the blood kind of come back into that area, that tingly feeling. Okay, I want you to roll up nice and slow. And we're gonna lay back into our dead zone. Okay, so again, remember, try not to wiggle around too much. You can close your eyes, take some nice deep breaths here. And hopefully on that rep, you notice that you were able to sink in a little bit deeper into it. You're able to relax into the movement a little bit more. You may have felt the tension that you first felt in your low back. You might have felt it in your hips or your upper back, in your hamstrings, your glutes. It can move around because as we go through these stretches, the muscles start to open up, which allows another area to be like, yo, I'm tight too. Got another 20 seconds here, and then we're gonna go into it one more time. So nice big deep breath in, and exhale. All right, you can bend those knees if you're ready, otherwise pause me and take a little bit longer of a dead zone. And I'll do this from the other side now. Now we're going to go into it for our last time. Remember, don't have those knees or those shins in too tight. You want them about 6-8 inches away. And you can reach forward as we come into this sit cross lean, or you can have your arms behind you. If you're very close and you don't have someone there, so if you're sitting at about here, what you can do, put your hands on your head and just gently push down. If you're feeling this in your knees, feel free to grab a pillow, prop your knees up a little bit. You may even feel this in your ankles if you have really tight ankles. These are all just our limiting factors in order to achieve our full range of motion. So as you breathe in here, in through your nose, I want you to feel your rib cage expand. And exhale through the mouth. And see if your body just sinks a little bit more. So nice big inhale again. And exhale. In. And out. Feel your body relax into it. Feel it unwind. We have 30 seconds left here in this position, and this will be the last one we do right now. So if your head is already on the floor and you are not feeling anything, congratulations, you can move on to our second level of lumbar flexion, which unfortunately you will just have to reach out and talk to me so that we can move you forward in through your ranges. All right, so roll on up. I say unfortunately, but I really mean fortunately, because I'm here to help you hit your goals. All right, and we're gonna lay back down, and we're gonna take our final dead zone here. So remember, when you're in your stretches, because I know you're all gonna go and do this on your own now, you never wanna go past that, I'm gonna say 5 to 7 out of 10 in pain or discomfort. I'm gonna say 5 to 7 because your first couple times, I don't want you to push too hard. I want you to get used to being in the stretch, feeling what your body feels like it, and then you can start to dive a little deeper. If you push past that 7 out of 10 in pain, your body's gonna start to go into fight or flight mode. It's gonna be like, what are you doing? This is intense, and your muscles will start to protect and contract. If you stay at that 7 and below, your body thinks, whew, this is deep, or this is lovely. I'm gonna relax into it. I can handle this, okay? So we don't wanna push past that ultimately 7 out of 10 in pain or discomfort. All right, roll onto your side and come on up to sitting. So there's your first level of 24 ultimate human performance ranges of motion. I have been doing this sit cross lean, not only myself, but with numerous clients, and found not only dramatic increases in their range of motion in just this short 10 minutes, but ultimately in their overall pain, their performance in their daily activities, their daily sports, their daily routines. And that's ultimately what we want. We want you to be able to perform your daily routines, live your best life, and reclaim the body that's yours, a body that's pain-free, a body that moves fluidly and without restriction, okay? Please let me know how this felt for you. Please let me know if you've hit your ranges and you wanna progress, and let's get you having that ultimate body to perform at its best. You got this.